Hello, everyone. Good evening. Tonight, I'll take you inside a real court case from the very beginning all the way to the final judgment. This will not be a typical live stream. Um, a very quick note, tonight's live will last about 45 to 60 minutes, so we'll have time for both the explanation and your questions. I hope everything is fine because tonight I'm using two different screens so I can finally the chat properly without the problems we had last time. So sorry again for the last time and for any inconvenience. I also want to say thank you. Until yesterday, I hadn't really checked the numbers, but we are almost about 1,000 subscribers. This means you appreciate this content and it motivates me to keep producing more, always updated. So please send me your feedback, advice, and even criticism. I want to make these videos as useful as possible. And remember, we are in a very hot period for Italian citizenship. Every week, we see new laws, new court rulings, and even absurd requests from tribunals. Yes, this also happens. Last time we talked about that courts demanding impossible documents and proving continuous citizenship. Tonight, instead, I'll walk you through when you must apply at the consulate and when it's pointless. I'll show you a real case we filed and won step by step, and at the end, I'll answer your most common questions, such as minor issue, 1948 maternal case, appeals, costs, and more. Many people ask me, do I have to apply at the consulate or can I go straight to court? Okay, the rule is very clear. If you fall within the cases covered by the law 74 of 2025, you must file your application with the consulate. There is no alternative. Uh, the exception is 1948 cases, which always go directly to court. In all the other situations, applying at the consulate is a waste of time because it will be rejected. The only solution is a petition before the competent court. The usual important disclaimer. Um, uh, Yes, I was talking about the important disclaimer because this is a general information only. Every family line is different. Just one detail can change everything, which is why a personal evaluation is always necessary. Pay attention here. This decision, consulate or court, is the one that can make you lose or save years of waiting. So don't get it wrong. If you haven't yet, please subscribe now. We are entering a month of huge changes and you need to stay updated. Now let's go inside a real petition that my firm handled. Of course, for privacy reasons, you understand that I can't share names or documents, but I'll try to guide you through every single step. So, in our case, the ancestor was born in Agrigento. Agrigento meant that the competent court was Palermo. Honestly, I think that the court of Palermo is one of the best in terms of speed, because I mean that I had many cases in Palermo, and they usually was very quick in their decisions. That is not common in the last years here in Italy. Remember, it's very important that you know that you cannot choose the court. The law decides the court based on the ancestor's place of birth. So I said that in our case, he was born in Agrigento, so the competent court was Palermo. Um, and this is where many people make a mistake. They think they can choose the fastest court, but that's not true. The law assigns the jurisdiction. So we filed the case before January 1st, 2025, when the court fee was of euro 518. Today, as you know, it's 600 euros for each applicant. We believe this increase is unconstitutional, and the Constitutional Court will soon rule on it. In this case, there were 10 applicants altogether. We usually recommend not exceeding this number for organizational reasons. The great grandfather, let's call him John, just for giving a fantasy name, was born in Italy and emigrated to Brooklyn in 1908. The later naturalized as an American, but by that time his son was already an adult, therefore no problem of minor issue. We submitted John's birth, marriage, and no naturalization records, the birth and marriage of his son, that we call Mike, the birth and marriage of Mike's daughter, Jennifer, and finally the documents of all the applicants, Jennifer's children and grandchildren. Here's something most lawyers don't tell you. We also included the minors in the petition. Many used to leave them out, but after Law 74, it's best to include them right away because, as you know, everything changed. Um, so it's best to include them right away, and we also touch the power of attorney, the genealogical chart, an index of all exhibits, and proof that the consulate had waiting lists of over 4 years. At the time, this was the time that the consulate need to schedule the appointments. So this was a pre-Cartabia reform petition. We filed it electronically. After 1 month, that is very rapid, we received the assigned judge and the case number. Then the decree setting the hearing. We served the petition and decree to the state attorney's office, basically the lawyers for the ministry, and the public prosecutor's office. So the first hearing was online after 3 months. The opposing lawyer did not contest the merits. They only asked for costs to be shared, arguing it's not the ministry's fault it's if the consulates are slow. My reply was maybe it's nobody's fault, but if the consulates worked as they should, my clients would not have been forced to hire a lawyer. The second hearing, yes, in the second hearing, the state attorney didn't even show up. We confirmed our arguments. About 2 months later, we had a judgment. So petition upheld, citizenship recognized for all applicants, and the ministry ordered to pay the legal costs. But what after the judgment? So I explained the judge in very quick way. This was a very simple trial, and I hope that in the next videos I will try to describe to you to tell you about different kind of trials. But what happens after the judgment? Well, we served the decision on the ministry after a month, and we requested the res judicata. This is crucial, and very few explain it clearly to you. What is the res judicata that we in Italy call passaggio in giudicato? It's the moment a judgment becomes final and binding. It can no longer be appealed. From then on, it's definitive and enforceable. With the final judgment, we filed everything and the municipality of Agrigento, and the clients were recognized as Italian from birth. They didn't become Italian that day, they always were Italians. This is very important, especially in this time. Um, so the judgment simply acknowledged a right that already existed. The final step, as usual, is the registration with the AIRE that we call IRE, that you as non-Italian residents need to file. Usually, we file this for you. And this is the key difference. It's not a favor, it's not a concession, it's the recognition of a birthright. Um, so let me see if we have some questions. Yeah, I will start. Hmm, okay. What is the minor issue? So we talked about the minor issue so many times. So I think that you can find among all our videos. Anyway, the minor issue happens when the ancestor naturalized while their child was still a minor. In that case, the line is broken. If you want to know more, I strongly invite you to check our videos, because you can find so many videos that explain about the minor issue in detail. Um, what if my ancestor naturalized after their child was born? In this case, the line remains intact. Citizenship is duly transmitted. Um, Before 1948, okay, I'll move on because I don't understand this question. Uh, if the consulate makes me wait 10 years, wow, can I go directly to court? Okay, if you fall under the law 74, you must still apply at the consulate. Otherwise, yes, you go directly to the court, because in accordance with our law, you have to wait not longer than 2 years. How do 1948 cases work? This is another point that I covered so many times, so please check all my video. Here I can say that before 1948, women couldn't pass citizenship. Today, these cases must be brought in court. So please check out all my video when I talked about the minor issue. The 1948 case. Should minor children be included in the petition? Yes, we talked about this earlier. It's better to include them right away, so they are recognized too. It's no longer automatic, because in order to save money in the past, before the new reform, so many lawyers decide to not include the minor, and automatically they ask the comune to include them as well, along with their parents, but it's no longer automatic, so now you have to include all the minors as well. Mm. What's the difference between? Oh, it's very strange that you send me this question. What's the difference between becoming Italian and being recognized Italian? Maybe you ask me these questions because I think you saw many videos of mine, and I keep saying about this different all the time. So becoming means a new acquisition. uh, you were not Italian until the judgment, and after that, you are now Italian. This is not the case. Being recognized means you were Italian from birth. The judge just confirms this. Um, why don't all cases go to the wrong coast anymore? Good question. Thank you for this, because I keep receiving this kind of questions so many times. We can say that before the Cartabia reform, if I'm not wrong, is dated 2023. This means 2 years ago or more, and the Cartabia reform changed the jurisdiction. Now it depends, as I said, on the ancestor's birthplace. How long does a court case take today is a very hard question, sorry, because everything has changed. So many courts decided to hold some trials, but I can say that usually 1-2 years, depending on the court. As I said, with our last example, Palermo, for example, is one of the fastest. Venice is one of the slower. What if the ministry appeals? In this case, the case continues in the Court of Appeal and potentially in the Supreme Court. But in the most cases, the ministry does not appeal. But this may happen. How much does a petition cost? I think you are asking about the court fee. So, as I said, we had an increasing of the court fee from 518 euros to 600 euros per applicant. Of course, you need to consider the legal cost as well. I mean, the legal fees. Usually, the costs are shared among all applicants. Uh, so I don't see so many other questions, so feel free to ask. I would like to answer to all your questions if possible. So, okay, France, we are living through a historic moment for Italian citizenship. Every week brings new rules, new court requirements, and new rulings. That's why I say subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell, otherwise you risk missing important opportunities. And trust me, because I really think that in the next few weeks we'll have so many updates to give you. Tonight I showed you a real case, but remember, our situation is unique, and even the smallest detail can change everything. Now, it's time for your live question. Mm. So let me check among my email, because I keep receiving your questions by email as well. I found some further questions. So, can I skip a generation? I think that you mean about the continuity of the bloodline, and the answer is very simple. You don't need your parent to apply before you. If your grandparent was Italian and the line wasn't broken, you can claim directly through them. What if my ancestor was born in a country like Australia before citizenship laws existed? I think I know who you are, and this is a complex issue. Generally, being automatically attributed a foreign citizenship by law without naturalization does not break the Italian line, but it must be evaluated carefully with documents. Do I need to prove continuous residence of my ancestor in Italy before emigrating? This is a very good question because normally no, but I had this kind of request from some judges nowadays. But yeah, some tribunals have very recently asked for strange documents to prove the citizenship wasn't interrupted. These requests are controversial and I think may be challenged. Mm. What if my ancestor changed their name after immigrating? That's very common. Courts accept discrepancies if they're explained with supporting documents like baptism certificates, census records, or affidavits that show it's the same person. Um, is a dual citizenship always allowed with Italy? Yes, Italy allows dual or even multiple citizenships, so you don't need to renounce your other citizenship. This happens after the Law 91 of 1992. Let me check if in the meantime I have some other questions. Hmm. Can adopted children claim Italian citizenship iure sanguinis? No, adoption doesn't create citizenship iure sanguinis. Adopted children may obtain citizenship through other legal paths, but not by descent. How long does it take for the municipality to register the judgment after the court recognition? It really depends on the commune. Usually from a few weeks to a couple of months after the final judgment is delivered. What happens if the consulate loses my documents or never replies? You can request proof of delay or inaction, which is useful in court. That's why we recommend always saving every email and document. Are siblings or cousins allowed to file one petition together? What's the maximum number of applicants? Yes, relatives from the same family line can file together. We usually recommend a maximum of 10 applicants per petition for better case management. What if my ancestor never registered their marriage in Italy? That's not a problem in itself. What matters is proving the marriage with valid documents from the country where it took place. The court can recognize it. Um, so let me check if we have other questions because it's not so easy because I need to check among my several emails. So I will try to answer to the last 10 questions. What if my ancestor never became a US citizen and died as an Italian citizen abroad? Honestly, that's the ideal case. If you can prove they never naturalized, the line is intact and the process is usually straightforward. Do I need my ancestors' Italian passport to prove citizenship? No, the birth certificate and no naturalization records are enough. Passports are nice to have, but not required. Can stepchildren or half siblings apply together? Only if they share the same Italian ancestor. Otherwise, they need separate petitions. How far back can we go in the family tree? There is not a limit in Italian law, even if the Italian ancestor is 4 or 5 generations back. You can claim as long as the line is unbroken. Consider that the Italy is formed, altogether, as you know, today in 1865. Uh, can women transmit citizenship after 1948 without issues? Yes, after January 1st, 1948, mothers transmit citizenship on the same terms as fathers. The limitation only applies to children born before 1948. Do I need to speak Italian to be recognized as a citizen? No. The language tests apply only to people applying through residency or marriage, not through descent. This is one of the most asked questions. What if my ancestor was from a part of Italy that later changed borders, e.g., Trentino or Istria? Border cases are more complex. Sometimes those ancestors lost Italian citizenship when territories were ceded. These cases require a very careful legal analysis. Can apply if my ancestor naturalized before June 14th, 1912. I think you are very confident with immigration law. That's a special limit. If they naturalized before the date and before the birth of the child, the line is broken. After June 14, 1912, the line continues unless the child was still a minor. Do all courts in Italy decide in the same way? What a question. And not always, not always, no. Different tribunals sometimes have different practices or timelines, even though the law is the same time. Of course, you have to understand that judges are humans. This means that all humans are different each other. That means that they are in the position to think differently each other. So it will be the perfect scenario if we will have the same kind of interpretation of the same law, but this never happens, and not only in Italy, I think in all around the world. Okay, I will finish with the last question. After recognition, how long until I can get an Italian passport? Once the comune registers your birth and you enroll in a IRE, you can apply at the consulate for a passport. Usually, it takes a few months, depending on consulate efficiency. So, as I said, so tonight I showed you a real case, and I let me again invite you to let me remind you that every situation is different, and everything can change, and any small detail can change everything. So feel free to ask me for your questions among the comments, because of course, as always, this video will be uploaded in the channel. So it's time for all your questions. Even after this live, write them in the chat, and I'll try to respond. Usually, I respond all your questions. Of course, I invite you to check that this is the truth. So, guys, thank you for watching. I strongly invite you to subscribe our channel, to activate the bell, and before leaving, please give me your suggestions about the content of the next videos that you would like uh, to watch, so that I can have new ideas, but in compliance with your specific request. So feel free to write me in the comment of my video, to send me emails, to check out our website. We have a form through which you can ask all your questions or your specific case, because I understand that and you are better to avoid to give personal information on YouTube. So when you need to provide me with specific information, of course, in order to get an advice, I strongly invite you to send me an email, or to apply to through our form that you can find in our website. So see you next, and buonanotte.